I'm Søren Jensen and I'm the CTO here at Trifork. I recently joined Trifork after a long career in a large global company called Schneider Electric. During that time, I was part of implementing a massive, huge IoT program called Structure On, which Trifork, by the way, helped implementing. I joined to help frame a new set of capabilities inside Trifork that we right now are calling Trifork Consulting. For the last couple of weeks, we've been working hard on framing it and making it crisp so that we can go out and start selling this and introduce it to our existing and new customers. What I would like to do now is go through the story, show you the pitch as it is as of today. It's not final, it's not perfect, but it's good enough that we can take it and get it in the hands of our customers and get your feedback as well. So here it is. It's approximately 12 to 15 minutes, and I look forward to your feedback. So Trifork Consulting is all about helping our customers going digital and realize the benefits of the digital transformation that is happening in the world. This presentation has two pieces to it. The first one is talking about the situation in the market and what is happening around us and in the various industries that we serve. And secondly, we want to talk about the approach that we want to take with our customers to benefit fully from the digital evolution that we are in the middle of. So if you look at some of the fundamental industrial transformations that are happening right now, the Industrial Revolution 4.0, it's all about the massive introduction of new cyber-physical systems. These systems are cloud-enabled, they are mobile, they are based on big data, it's predictive analytics, it's all the things that we know very well in our company, but is an extreme challenge for a lot of businesses out there to commercialize and introduce and find meaningful ways of leveraging for business purposes. In fact, one of the people that spoke at the World Economic Forum recently, he said that of the top or the half of the companies on the Fortune 500 since year 2000 is no longer existing, meaning that they've all been disrupted and have disappeared. And one of the primary reasons is the digital disruption that's going on in the world. It's very massive, very concrete, and very scary for a lot of companies. Another key survey that came out last year talks about how many top executives sees the digital evolution as having high or moderate impact to their business within the next 12 months. And from the top ranked industry being media to the lowest ranked industry being industrial, more than 40% are saying that they do see a change and a disruption. So they are aware. We know that we are being impacted, and the big question is, what are we going to do about it? The same people also said that half of them don't have the people to translate that threat into strategies and meaningful roadmaps, nor do they have the people to go execute. So clearly, companies understand it, but don't have people to build strategy and go execute. And that's where we can come in and help them as Trifork. A framework that I like that is a good way of illustrating the challenges that we are facing with taking full advantage of digital transformations and opportunities is a framework that talks about the different horizons of investments. One of the really interesting aspects of that is that companies are thinking about this way in a very sort of intelligent way and are doing it really good in H1. Great. People are putting money into the core business as things that are delivering return very quickly. They also have a really good practice of putting money into the long term, the H3 investment bucket, especially when it comes to things you don't understand. And you're doing that to give yourself options. H2 is where the problem is. In H2, you are actually in that midterm, you're trying to find out a way of using technology to build a new sustainable business. And very often the digital challenges around mobile, social, big data, analytics is where the company structure and the way that you deal with new services and products is challenged beyond belief. and it becomes almost like an hourglass, where the investment that you put in is really hard for a lot of companies to realize in terms of new businesses. And the reason is culture. It's around process, that the way we are trying to monetize these new technologies in our existing business context are different. Competitors that we know today might be partners tomorrow. The clock speed of which we put new products and services to market is different. Quality metrics are different. There's a lot of fundamental assumptions that we are building our business on today that must be evaluated and changed. That's what makes it so hard to get the investment through the hourglass. A way of sort of framing this is to think about it as 3 elements that need to be in place. From the last 20 years of us working with clients who have had success with applications either on your phone or rich sort of client desktop applications or other back-end systems. When we look across where companies have had success, they had 3 things in place. The first thing is they had business people that actually knew the business they were in and had a clear opinion about the business strategy. They had really thoughtful and insightful designers, and these are designers that are not just designing the user experience or VX for that matter. It's actually people who deeply understand the emotions of what customers' pain points are, what they're going through, what the experience of buying or having a service delivered to them are. And finally, of course, technology. You need to have really insightful people that can answer questions on how can we build this effectively, how can we get this into the market effectively, and how can it scale, how can it be secure, et cetera, et cetera. So business, technology, and design. When those 3 things are in place, you're in good shape. Unfortunately, it's not everything that matters, because that team sits inside an organization. And here we have 3 things that is surrounding that team. You have process, which is the way that you build, deliver, and launch your efforts. You've got the structure, which is the way that you are organized, who you're reporting to. How can you either tap in or be outside your existing way of doing things? And finally, you've got the culture. And culture here is things like how risk averse are you? What's the mindset around making mistakes? What's the appetite for experimentation, et cetera, et cetera. So fundamental culture, process, and structure is surrounding this core team. And very often we see if you don't treat those 3 elements with respect, you can have the most excellent execution engine, but the tires can't really grab the road and you are spinning your wheels. So what are the implications for strategy when you want to embrace this new world? The question comes up, which set of smart product capabilities and features should we pursue? What's inbounds and out of bounds, and what about services? That's a question that a lot of customers have a hard time to answer because the ocean of opportunities is enormous. Also, that relates to the business model that we are currently operating under. Very often that needs to change or be reconfigured. What about that? And thirdly, the underlying organizational implications of embracing these new types of products and services is challenging and impacting the implementation success, which is also something we have to think through very carefully. Otherwise, we will not get the return out of the investment. And finally, the culture that is embodying this effort long-term needs to be addressed so that this does not become a splash or a temporary investment, but it becomes much more like a well or something that is sustainable for the long haul and that we build upon for the years to come. So in the following section, we want to talk about how can Trifork help our customers approach and deal with this transformation. And we call it the digital design thinking. So the digital design thinking practice is built on 3 fundamental practices that are well known today. First one being the business side, where we deal with strategy, we deal with price, promotion, place, the market itself. Then you have the actual design craftsmanship, where we actually built the products on the user interface side, whether it's VX or CX or UX, it's all where it sort of comes together. And finally, of course, the technology side, the development side, where technology is being brought to light. We put all those three practices together and we center it with the customer and the customer's customers and the ecosystems of partners. In the center of all of this, we put the digital design thinking service from Trifork. And in the following, I would like to go into detail what that means, the catalog of services that we can offer to make that happen. There are three fundamental activities that are critical to make our client successful. The first one is the inspiration and the digital maturity assessment. And what that really means is that we want to inspire and motivate our customers, their leaders, senior management, or even the teams to go out and get experiences that get their eyes open, remove their blinders, so they to themselves can see what the opportunities of a digital transformation or revolution is and could be for them and what it is for the customers. The other thing around the assessment really talks to understanding where am I currently at when it comes to executing the digital portion of my strategy. And get sort of a heat map of what do I need to stop, start, or accelerate. And have that as a starting point to find out how Trifork best can help you accelerate your digital journey. The next one is digital concept making, where we are helping our clients come up with new digital concepts, whether it's apps or applications or software that is part of enhancing or improving a service or a product. And we do that with the most deeply thoughtful empathy for our customers and the ecosystems that our customers are dealing with. On top of that, we are helping with process and tools and frameworks that can accelerate the new product development in ways that we see among startups and some of the most successful companies in the world. The last piece is something that is very important, and that's making sure that our customers can do it themselves in the long term. We call that orchestrating the change, where it becomes a sustainable way of working that companies can count on for the next digital evolution, the next digital product or service that are coming out, where they build up that competency within their own teams and structures. So within these three categories of activities, we actually already now have some services that we want to go out and introduce to our clients, existing clients and new clients, all over the world. This is not just a European thing. We want to go abroad with this as well. The first activity is around the experience immersion. And here the key activity is really to inspire the team, the leadership team or the product team, vet the appetite and believe in an ambitious and relevant digital strategy for the business, and really remove their blinders and spark the initiative and get this thing going. The next activity is assessment around the business modeling activity. So how ready are you as an organization to pursue this journey? We want to come out with a heat map based on a survey where we are interviewing key stakeholders around the organization that are involved in this effort to really give them a starting point of how can we best help them. Get into that dialogue of where do they have to accelerate, stop, start activities, and really become that guiding principle, because in many organizations you can't really put a direction in before senior management, top management have agreed that that's the way you want to do it. You want to have a very aggressive team that can move fast, but if you don't have direction, speed does not matter. This activity helps with direction, help anchoring this effort into the top management side of the company. So our 5-day digital design sprint is really focused on a problem, solving a problem that a customer has and solve it over only 5 days. Bringing the right people in play. So from the business side, technology side, and design side, with the customer in the center, with the right frameworks and process facilitated by us, we can actually in a very quick way, demonstrate it over and over again, deliver insightful answers to big problems in only 5 days. Learn quick, fail quick, and produce outcomes quick, which is a major trend in the world that we can now, that experience, we can offer that to our customers. So when they come back after that workshop, which very often is remote from their current working environment, they've had that insight understanding, they had the experience and can bring that into the next project, something that we've seen extremely useful in many cases. So the 12-week accelerated product creation program is focused on solving big problems. It could either be a problem with a customer that needs to have a new digital service delivered very quickly, very rapidly. It could also be a problem that a customer have a hard time solving, where we as Trifork can bring our expertise, our experts in various domains into the customer's domain and really sprint and use our frameworks and methods and tools to help the customer way faster than anybody else can. The 6-month in-house change project is where we as Trifork is helping our clients sustain and build the capability of digital innovation and digital design thinking into their future, into the next sort of generation of their products. And we will do that by helping individuals and foster a practitioner network of people that actually are doing it, by coaching and mentoring, and even to some extent allow them to come and work inside Trifork and get the experience of what it means to work in a software company and then go back. So we have a lot of ways to help companies become proficient in doing this themselves. And that's really how we can also differentiate the Trifork in all of this, that we are not just here to take the work, go do it, but we also really want to foster a learning platform where our companies can go on and take this on for themselves for the future. So a client that can see us helping them will grow faster, will have more needs, have bigger projects. So it's actually a win-win for all of us. That's why this sustainable change program is actually a very important part of our strategy in our consulting business.